things I like to do with the guests that I bring on the show is to go down a mental exercise with me. And if you wouldn't mind, I'd love to take you on that.
All right, let's do it.
So what I like to do is I like to ask you to imagine for a moment that you have this ability to go back in time, to visit a younger version of Tanner, and you can share one nugget of wisdom with that younger version of Tanner. Who do you go back to visit, meaning what age, what circumstances, and what's the nugget of wisdom you share?
Yeah, that's a great question. So it's going to be one or two timestamps. And the way I view this answer is more based on time that I feel like I could have moved a little faster.
Okay.
Instead of like quote unquote wasted it, kind of go in the same direction. So I think the first thing is for me, when I was 18 and I was graduating high school, I had a huge dilemma on if I was going to play college football or not.
Okay.
And my whole dream was playing the NFL, but I never played with a first round draft pick yet. And so I'd see a lot of players and I'm like, I'm pretty good. Like I'm just as good as this guy and this guy, et cetera. Football taught me a lot. And so part of this answer, it's like, I think at the bare minimum, I should have done high school football. I don't know about college. I think if I hadn't done football at all, I wouldn't be where I am today. But I was so focused on the NFL that from 18 to 22, I look and I say, man, if I spent all that time on a business, I'd be way farther ahead. And the reality is, if you don't know that you're going to the NFL, if it's a question mark, you're not going. And what I mean by that is I played with the guy, his name's Ezekiel Ansah. Came over from Ghana, 6'8", 275, was on the 100-meter track team. And they brought him in for football as like a walk-on. And they're like, hey, let's try you out. And I remember they put him with me to lift because I was a beast at the time. And they just wanted to see what he could do. And I was doing 4 plates on squat, and we are doing like 4 sets of 10. And he says he's never lifted before. The guy looks like a Greek god. And he's like, yeah, I'll try it. And I was like, dude, like, you realize, like, this is 405 pounds. Like, I don't want you to hurt yourself. He's like, no, I'll try it. And he gets down, he starts repping it. And I'm like, dude, this is a joke. Like, I've worked my whole life for this moment, and you're just doing this like it's nothing. And then we would run, and he'd be the first guy down the field. And so that in hindsight, no one could tell me that, but like I played with multiple first round draft picks now that are still in the league. Some of them are Pro Bowlers and stuff. And so I think in hindsight, if I had been, it's hard to tell yourself that, especially when that's your goal, but maybe there. And then the second one would have been to hire a coach at 22 or so, to either hire a coach sooner or start door-to-door sales sooner, because I was very arrogant and I'd had all this success. And even with the NFL, I don't think I was good enough, but what I was able to sit on is I said, well, I got hurt. I kept getting hurt, and that's why I can't go. And so I probably use that a little bit as an excuse as to why. But if I'd started 2 years sooner, again, like I look at the opportunity cost, and the first year we did $1 million, second year we did 10, then 15, and then we've gone up from there. And so I go, well, look, let's just say I did 10, like which was like one of my lowest years. That's another $20 million that we could have already made.
Exactly.
If I hadn't done it. And it's all 2020. It's all hindsight.
Obviously.
But that's probably the two things, because once I started doing door-to-door sales and I started the business and I started hiring coaches, that's when like things really took off. And a lot of it was just pride. I mean, the pride was like, I'm going to play in the NFL. I think that was a pride thing at 18. And then at 22 is the same thing, where I said, well, I don't have money and I'm not going to pay these guys. Like, they don't know what they're talking about. Like, I've done all these things on my own. So it'd probably be those 2 points. Everything after that, though, I felt like was great, and it went pretty fast, honestly. So it was those were probably the 2 biggest points in my life.